Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we're going to be celebrating another milestone. The channel just recently hit 300 subscribers, and we're going to celebrate the best way we know how by drinking some rare coffee. And much more than that, we're going to go ahead and update you on the suggestions recommendations list, as well as what we have coming up for the channel here in the near future. So let's start by thanking everybody that has subscribed. It obviously means so much to us to see the channel grow in the way that it has. The channel was started about 1.5 years ago, and we've seen a lot more recent growth and so much positive feedback from so many people. We've made some really nice connections, some really good friends, so we just can't thank you enough for all the support that we have received within the past 1.5 years or so. But you're here for the coffee, so let's go ahead and introduce what we have on deck today, and this is a fun one. So this is a Savage Fusion Panamanian Geisha. It is a modulated, unified, processed Panamanian Geisha from Coffea Circulor. And Coffea Circulor was really nice to include this sample as part of our Ruby Batian order. There was about 31 grams of coffee inside of here, and I'm really excited to try it, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip right here. And it must be noted that Savage isn't necessarily one of my favorite Panamanian Geishas. It actually is on the lower end of the Panamanian Geisha scale in terms of what I like, as they can be a little intense, a little bold. And this coffee, just off of that first impression, is pretty intense. It's got a pretty heavy acidity. It's got a pretty wine-like component to it, quite a bit of berries. There's a lot of depth in this cup of coffee. Finishes off quite chocolatey. This one was brewed through the V60, as we had such positive results with the Ruby Batian, brewing that one through the V60. So recipe we used, same thing, 15:1 water to coffee to 95 degrees Celsius, and we brewed it through the V60. So we will return to that coffee from time to time as we're doing this video. But let's go ahead and pull up that suggestions recommendations list. And of course, Archer's still remains our top suggestions recommendations. If we find pretty much any of these coffee roasters while we're out and about, I'm gonna purchase them immediately just so we can get them reviewed. So no matter where they are on the list, that's the way it works. But of course, the higher you are on the list, the more likely we are to order it from online. And then we have UE, which will probably be easy to order. And then Bailey's, Darkwoods, White Star. We mentioned that we actually can't order these to the United States. So whenever we find them, then we will purchase those. Square Mile, Duck Rabbit, One Line, just kind of running through these, and we'll probably mispronounce quite a few of these. Johanned, Better, don't know how to pronounce that one. Luschbauer. German's really bad, just as a lot of my other pronunciation is. Kelowna Coffee, Blending Coffee Club, Established Coffee, Apollon's Gold, Good Coffee Co., Momo's, Mostra, Proudhound, SK. And then at the very bottom we have Hatch. Now Hatch isn't necessarily at the bottom. What's happened with Hatch is I've checked their website pretty much every week since it was suggested to us for a rare higher end offering. And they had the Tanzanian Peaberry, which is the one I really wanted to purchase, but ever since that one sold out, they haven't had anything that has necessarily appealed to me. They've had like the Luna Bermudas and a couple of other coffees, but I'm specifically looking for something that is a rare higher end coffee, or the Letty Bermudas to return so I can review something from Hatch. So Hatch is technically very much up there, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to review one of their higher end offerings here sometime in the near future. Now the next thing, and a pretty important thing for this channel, is what's coming up in the future, and it is holiday season, so that means advent calendar season. And last year we did Cafe Box's advent calendar, and I absolutely loved it. I felt like that was the start of the growth of this channel, as at the time we were a very, very small channel. We're still a pretty small channel, but at the time we were much smaller, and we got so much positive feedback from so many people. There were some really, really nice comments, and I feel like we can definitely improve on those videos. And given that we know so much more about a lot of these Scandinavian roasters now, then we feel like it would be a great advent calendar to return to and do again this year. But of course, we're open to ideas and suggestions. So of course, individual coffee roasters are doing some as well, which includes Onyx and Coffee Collective and Drop. And while we might have some preferences in which of those coffee roasters we'd prefer, we're obviously open to hearing from you guys and seeing what you think would be the best ones for us to do. We're definitely still leaning towards the Cafe Box advent calendar. And then also Revolver in Canada is doing an advent calendar with 24 different coffee roasters, and we don't know which coffee roasters are going to be included in that one. We can kind of assume that there are going to be a lot of Canadian coffee roasters and coffee roasters that they use throughout the year. So that's also another option. Again, we really like the Cafe Box Advent Calendar. We like a lot of the coffee roasters that they include in there, the variety, and we do think that it's probably a little better to include a lot more diversity in the coffee roasters that are offered on the channel. So the Revolver is another idea. Cafe Box, obviously our preference, and then a bunch of other coffee roasters. But we'd love to hear from you, see what you guys might think. I'm gonna take another sip of this coffee. I'm definitely going to include a tasting wheel in this video as well. Once this video is done, I'm going to put together a tasting wheel so you can kind of see as the coffee has cooled down a little slightly. You're getting a lot more slight tropical fruits. A lot of the overly dominant winey acidity has died down. Still quite a bit of some finishing chocolatey components to this cup of coffee. Again, it's a pretty robust cup of coffee. It's a pretty heavy cup of coffee, which Savage tends to be. All right, I think for the most part, that's what we have for this video, what we have coming up. Obviously, we're working on some coffees right now. This is actually going to be recorded. While we have some stuff in progress, we're not going to detail too much. At the end of the year, of course, we have our top 10 coffees of the year list. So much more to come. So I think the best way to kind of wrap this up is just giving you guys another thank you. Thank you for everything you guys have contributed to this channel. It's really impressive to see everything that's happened since. Every time you like the video, it does help the algorithm, as people say. That's what I've been told. So if you're enjoying the content, just give the video a like so that way more people can see it, and hopefully we'll have more coffee to discuss with more people in the future, and we're very much looking forward to that. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you got something from it, and we're looking forward to talking coffee with you guys here again in the near future. Thank you.